several times about how the first week is all about yourself and also making adjustments. When you look at Gus as a coach and being with him for as long as you have, how's he stack up when it comes to game adjustments? And how important is it for this week? And also, when you look at Arkansas, or excuse me, when you look back at what you guys did last season early, can you maybe point out a specific instance where you guys made some adjustment that really stuck out to you and ended up proving to be the difference, especially very, very early in the game when you guys are trying to figure things out?
Yeah, first game of the year, especially when you got, they got a new coordinator, your opponent does, that's when it's always hard. You have an idea what you think people will do, but you really don't know. And so I think that's why Coach just said, adjustments, keep it simple first game, but I think that's something, whether it's first game, middle of the year, last game, he's always been good at adjustments. But I think it's because, when you run a system that you're very familiar with, we believe in what we do, as most people do, then you kind of know your system inside and out, so you know how to make quick adjustments here or there inside of a game. I don't have a quick example off the top of my head from last year, but sometimes it's as simple as little bitty things on the sidelines we do in between series. Sometimes it's at halftime we all get together and it can slow down for a second. But that's the name of the game early on in the season is using those first games, there's a filling out process for both teams, and so you just kind of got to be ready.
Rhett, have you told Jeremy, now that we're in a game week, have you told Jeremy to go about preparing and going about this week in particular?
I've just told him and Nick both, be ready to go, be ready to play. Don't worry about, how long this or that. I know Coach is going to handle Tuesday, all those kind of questions and things, but I feel really good about the way both Nick and Jeremy have practiced the last week, and today's no different.
You talk about the running backs, got a lot of them to choose from.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is with Cameron and Corey, you feel like you got two quality senior every down backs in our league. Corey, I think, has definitely developed into an every down kind of back. Definitely feel the same way about Cam. I think Cam is faster this year than he was last year. They're both really good in pass protection. They're seniors. They come to work, so you can trust those guys. After that, been really pleased over the last probably 2 weeks the way Rock Thomas and Peyton Barber have prepared and practiced. Neither one of them have ever played a live game. Peyton redshirted last year. Rock's a true freshman. So you never know how those guys will handle themselves, but just from in terms of the game slowing down for both of them, feeling like they're going to know the game plan well enough to play, and they've done a good job in ball security. So you feel good about those guys, but there's just a lot of unknown until they play. And really with freshmen, you just got to, whenever their time comes, you got to throw them in there and let them figure it out. But having two senior backs that have been there and done that's a big safety net for us.
Well, Cameron Petway probably redshirt, you think?
Don't know at this point. First week, we'll have our ideas on certain guys, but you just never know. You'd always like to play guys if they're ready to play at all. And if either they're not ready or the depth chart just doesn't give them a chance, then you'd like to not waste a year. So we'll see how that ends up, probably about week 3 or 4.
When the off-season mission was to be more balanced, when you're playing not only a conference game, but an opponent who likes to have time possession as much as they do at a 2-1, more than 2-1 in the first half last year, an uncertain quarterback situation, how much is this first game may not reach those balanced goals that you have laid out? Or is it just going to be, hey, we're going to go with it regardless?
Yeah. Well, I think balance is, it's that interesting question because some people look at balance as it's 50-50 run pass or 60-40 one way or the other. I'd hate to give a percentage. I think 60-40 is a quality number or 50-50. But for us, balance is being able to take what's there. And simply being able, hey, we're good enough if you're giving us the run, we can run the football. If you're giving us the passing game, we can throw the football efficiently. And that's where it lies for us because when we've been at our best every year, it's been, hey, one game we may throw for 350, the next game we may throw for 120, but we ran for 280 because every opponent's going to have a different plan. Some guys want to take away the run, some want to take away the pass. And so for us, balance is feeling the confidence in our passing game that, hey, if you're going to dare us and make us throw, we're going to be able to do it. And if you're going to dare us and make us run, we're going to be able to do it. Last year was a little bit of an exception, I really still believe. And this first game will be no different. We feel good about where we're at in the passing and the run game. It's just going to be a matter of, how the game unfolds. Probably determines how balanced it really is.
Sorry. Are you at the point now where you feel comfortable that you could put Rock Thomas out there on the field to play in the first game?
Yeah, I think, talking with Tim just the other day, with both Rock and Peyton, we feel like, hey, if they go in the game, hey, they're going to play, and they're going to probably make some freshman mistakes at times. We feel like they're as prepared as they can be to hold on to the football. That's the number one thing you worry about. You know, how many heavy pass protection situations you put them in, you know, might be different as opposed to the older guys, but they have done it a lot. We feel good about them. And so it'll just be a matter of, hey, take your lumps a little bit when you're young. But I think they both got confidence. We got confidence in them, so we got no reservations about playing them.
Rich, you've seen your defense
Yeah.
through the spring and camp. Do you think have they moved up a lot from last year, do you think?
I think so. I think we're faster. You know, just looking, and I think they're deeper, you know. Just playing them, we seem to play faster, I think, both in speed and just in knowing the scheme. Our guys get lined up and make adjustments and don't bust. And so that's something I think they've done a really good job of, is playing fast, physically and mentally. And then, you know, up front, Rodney does a great job, and I think Coach Johnson's got those linebackers, you know, they're showing some leadership, and really they understand the scheme, and I think they've been a handful for us in fall camp.
Rhett, in an interview on Friday, Gus had told a reporter that, as he has said, Jeremy Johnson is going to start, Nick has his issue. He has not publicly stated that. You have not publicly stated that. When he even has difficulty keeping track of what he has said publicly about the situation, how do you not expect this ambiguity to affect your 19-year-old quarterback?
I don't have any issues with what's going on internally here. My guys know what to expect. They know what's going to happen. Coach will address all kind of depth charts issues on Tuesday, and I feel really good about Jeremy and where he's at. I feel really good about Nick where he's at. I feel really good about where our team's at. They both believe in both those guys, and there's no uncertainty on our team at all.
How comforting is it to have a guy like Reese and some veteran guys in that middle of the offensive line for you heading into a season opener?
Oh, very comforting. We got 3 returning starters now. They're moved around a little bit, and then, you know, Pat Miller started 4 games last year. Sean Coleman played. So, but having a guy like Reese, especially for us at center, there's just, when you play fast and all the things that we do, well, he's huge for our offense. He's huge for the quarterback. He's huge for everybody. Now we've got, you know, Quan, I think, is their only senior, but we got guys like Sammy Coates and Melvin Ray and Ricardo Lewis that have played, Marcus Davis even, that have some experience at wide out to lead. We got 2 senior running backs, 2 senior tight end fullback, H-back bodies, and a senior quarterback. It's just a different place we're in. But Reese has always kind of been the backbone of our guys, especially up front, and he shows great leadership, both just mentally and intangibly.
You mentioned Roddy Thomas. What other freshmen do you think have a chance to play against Arkansas?
You know, I don't know. You know, Braden Smith's a guy that you never know, could see action, Rock, Stanton Truitt, but you know, all those guys have done a good job, and they're all going to be available, because the good thing is having a home game, you can dress more guys. But Coach will get into that, releasing the depth chart and all that kind of stuff on Tuesday.
Rhett, can you kind of take off your Auburn OC hat for a second?
I forgot to wear my hat today.
I didn't mean literally, but
I took it off.
Do you have a OC hat? I've never seen that.
But you know, take that way. You're an Arkansas native. You know, played there.
Yeah.
What's your thought on just kind of this rivalry, this buddy rivalry between Auburn and it's kind of a new thing for this last couple of years?
Yeah, you know, we got a lot of guys on the staff, not just myself, that have Arkansas ties, went to school there, have a lot of family that still live there. So there's just natural storylines, you know. So at the end of the day, it's been far enough removed for me, and we've played Arkansas enough times that it's another game. It really is. It just so happens to be the first game, and it's an SEC game. That makes it huge. But I got a lot of friends and family back home in that state that they're big Razorback fans, but they pull for Auburn 1 game a year for sure. And you know, so I think at some point, you know, you try to make a story out of it. It's a big game for us, regardless of where I'm from and who we're playing.
What are you hearing from your family and your friends as far as, yeah, they're cheering for you, Auburn, but you know, are they excited for this game? Is this more than just, you know, a season opener or SEC season opener?
Maybe for them a little bit. I just know if they want a ticket, they better wear orange. So that's all I know.
On a more personal level, though, Rhett, I mean, you coached with Rory at Sanford.
Yeah.
Do you still, is there more to that personal battle in this, or?
No, Roy and I have a great relationship. As a matter of fact, when Roy moved to Northwest Arkansas, he called me, asked me questions about schools for his son. You know, and I was only at Sanford for that 1 year, which happened to be well, I guess Roy was there too, but it was the only year we were there together. But got great respect for him. He did a heck of a job with our special teams and D-line that year. But you know, I'm looking forward to seeing him. So.
When your bosses have such philosophical battle being played out in the public over the last 15, 18 months, how does that affect a relationship that you have in this rivalry?
With who?
With Rory? Does that do
Not at all. No, I mean, you know, we're all professionals, and at the end of the day, I'm part of the Auburn family. I represent Auburn, trying to do everything I can to win for Auburn and myself. Rory's the same way over there at Arkansas, but I mean, other than for that 3 or 4 hours that we're competing on Saturday, we'll shoot, text, call, whatever. Maybe just not quite as much this week, but no, there's no issues there at all.
You guys want to run at a faster pace this year? I mean, is that the goal here?
Well, if we can get enough first downs, you know. We always are looking for ways to play fast and even try to play faster. I think our guys having a good concept of the offense, kind of like I was answering about our defense, will allow us to play faster. You know, there's less thinking, more reacting going on. And then at the end of the day, you got to get first downs and stay on the field to get tempo going and play fast. So if we're able to do that and keep moving the chains, then hopefully we'll go as fast as they'll let us go.
As a coach, do you like some of that gamesmanship where last year was the whole thing about the film, there being an extra point missing, and then they run a swinging gate play or whatever near the end zone, pick up a first down? You kind of like that just from a competitive standpoint?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I really, in my role and where I'm at, that stuff doesn't really affect me that much. And I've got a job to do. It's to get that offense prepared to execute at a high level. And all that other stuff's good storylines, because I know leading up to day week 2 for y'all 6-7 months in advance, you got to find things to talk about. But at the end of the day, we're both playing our first conference game, and both of us want to be 1-0. And all that other stuff really doesn't matter unless it affects you on the field, as far as, you know, them executing play or us executing play. But that, no.
Has DeKill progressed like you'd hoped? Williams?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I almost forget what his real name is. He's been good. He's had a good camp. You know, he's had some ups and downs in transition like anybody would that's new. But been really pleased overall with what he's done. And you know, we feel really good about all our wideouts. They know all the positions, so you can move them around, play them a lot of different spots. So it gives us a lot of flexibility.
Rhett, a second ago, you mentioned that, you know, what this game really boils down to is you guys both want to start out season 1-0 and the conference 1-0. When Ellis was in here, he just mentioned that he doesn't like starting the season with a conference game. He'd rather work his way into it. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, it's tough. I mean, our league's tough. At the end of the day, the margin for error in our league is so small. I mean, you look at the game there last year, we won the conference. They came in last in the conference, and the game was an 11-point game late in the game at their place. And we fumbled a ball that we got back. Had we not got it back, who knows? I mean, the margin for error in our league between the top and the bottom is just so minute that it doesn't matter who you're playing. An SEC game, you got to be ready to play, and you got to play at your best. So there's a lot of unknowns in the first game, no matter whether you got experience coming back or not. And so I think for both of us, there's a lot of sense of urgency when you open with a conference opponent to start on the right foot. And then for us, just looking at it, I think Arkansas has won 4 of the last 5 here. So I mean, we know exactly what we're getting into. They're a very good team. They're going to be much improved. And you just look at how they finished the year last year. They basically beat LSU in Baton Rouge. So we're going to have to play very well our first game out of the gates. And, you know, you're just sometimes if you don't start with a conference opponent, there's more margin for error. There's less in this case.
So that means you like it?
It means I like what?
You mean you like starting with it?
I don't know. I mean, you got to play 8 teams in our league anyways. So I don't know if I like it, but that's the way it is. We got a heck of a schedule this year anyways, so I'm fired up about it.
Everybody good? All right. Thanks, Rhett.
Chuck?
That's it. That's all, folks.
That's it?
That's it.
We're never going to speak clear.
That's it.
Player.
No, how many?
Talking about players.